Hello, everyone. We're just letting our spoiled agents come in because, Dario, we know you always have some great guests with you as well. Hello,
Yeah, man.
everybody.
We
Hey,
always
what's up?
do. We always have partners willing to support us on these ventures, and we love it.
We love it. We're just getting started going live. We're going to all of our platforms for you gentlemen today, of course. All right, let's see here. We're just getting our spoiled agents in because we are live, of course, on Zoom. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube and we're live on LinkedIn. So we have it all brought out for you today, gentlemen.
Beautiful. We love it.
Hello, Joanne. Joanne on Facebook. We have our Facebook friends. If you're just joining us on Facebook, please make sure that you add your email in the comments so we know you're here. And Zoom, we have you covered because you guys have already registered. Hello from Halifax. Hello, Halifax. Hello, all over Alberta. All right, Stereo and gentlemen, we're going to get started. So I'd like to welcome all of you. My name is Susan Koyman from Spoiled Agent. And we have, of course, I think a lot of you already know. If you don't, you will before the end of the today. Our friend, we like to call him here, Spoiled Agent D from Barbados, otherwise known as Dario Prescott. Hello, Dario.
Hey, Susan. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I know you brought some amazing guests as usual. Did you want to let us know who's here today?
Yes, we have Devon Chase from Wyndham Grand Barbados Resort and Spa. He is the Associate Director of Sales. And we have Wayne Scott, who is on the marketing team at Atlantis Submarine. And the whole idea for today's session is about building a Barbados family getaway. And when it comes to traveling to Barbados, there are a couple of things that are always very, very important. Number one, you always need to figure out where you're going to be staying. So accommodation is always going to be something that is paramount. And we always need to make sure that you know what it is that you're going to be doing once you get into the destination. So today it's pretty much all about families and what exactly can the kids get into while the adults might have a nice libation by the pool or maybe get into that book that they've
I
been
love
meaning to
it.
read. Yeah.
Well, and if I can speak to it as well, Jerry, I know you and all of your friends are at Barbados. They know, of course, that I was just in Barbados in October for my own vacation.
Nice. How was
It was
that? Tell us.
amazing, amazing. Your whole team there, Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., they helped me with some great suggestions. Ours was an adult trip, but we did a lot. I have to say, it was very, very memorable. We loved the cuisine, the adventure of it, and just we felt at home. Everywhere we went, everyone was smiling. Just like today, Wayne and Devon are. Like, I love the culture, and I like that we went out to like a nice little pub and had some drinks. We did oysters. I mean, we did it all. So, but anyway, I just want to say personally, it's an island that has my heart and all of our friends' hearts. We went with 8 people, 4 couples, and we all loved it. So, and we all came back still friends. So it really worked out.
Love to hear it, Susan. You used a word there. You said home. You said it felt like home. And I always tell people it's the one place that you arrive as a friend and you leave as family, because that's
Yeah.
what it really is. You find yourself a home away from home every single time you visit Barbados.
Well, and we're going to get started, but just if anyone has any questions for the gentleman, we're going to use the Q&A box because it's easier for us to find the questions rather than in the chat. We're going to leave the chat for the chitter chatter. And I know Dario and his team have been super generous today offering a $50 gift card. Isn't that right, Mr. Dario?
That's right. So we'll be choosing a winner. Whoever stays on to the end, you're in with a chance to win a $50 gift card, compliments of Barbados Tourism.
Amazing. And we're going to send over the names to Devin of all the guys today so then they can pick them and then we'll get in touch with them, of course. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. I'm going to close my mic and my camera because I know Dario's got the screen. Dario, just let me know when you want me to advance the slides, buddy.
That's no problem. Feel free to go for it. So once again, thank you so much for joining us for this session. And today we're talking about families and why Barbados. And it's very simple once we start getting into it. It's safe, welcoming, very easy to explore. We have a rich mix of relaxation and adventure. Year-round sunshine. Barbados is easy to package because it's beach, it's activities, it's culture, without overcomplicating the logistics. As you know, it's not a huge island at all. So it's very easy to have like multiple activities in one day without there being extensive travel time from getting to one location to the next. and you can build a week that keeps kids entertained while still giving parents downtime as well. So usually I would always say about 7 days, 7 days or 7 nights within the destination would be really, really ideal. And I'm not really gonna, do too much chatter at all. What I will do, I will be turning over to Devon at this point in time, so he can tell us about Wyndham Grand and why they have that appeal for families. What exactly it is that they do have to offer. So Devon, feel free to introduce yourself and tell them what Wyndham Grand has to offer for families, and even more so, what it has to offer for the travel agents as well.
Why, thank you so much, Dario, and a warm welcome from Wyndham Grand Barbados. I saw somebody, was it from Nova Scotia, saying it's quite chilly over there. We're at actually 28 degrees, which is cold by our standard, believe it or not. So who are we, Wyndham Grand Barbados? Well, first, let me say that the property was first opened in 2023. We're a relatively new property. Susan, you can feel free to flick the slide one more time. It's a relatively new property, opened in 2023. We're located about 15 minutes or so from the airport, so not too far, particularly from those who would have had long flights, traveling with the kids. You just want to get to your hotel, get to your room, just so you can relax and start the vacation, so that the kids aren't feeling particularly miserable. We are located on the southeastern side of the island, a little bit outside of the traditional tourist belt, which tends to be along the south and the western side of the island. That does have its advantages and its disadvantages. The primary disadvantage is because we're on the Atlantic side. It means that our beach isn't exactly swimmable, but there are alternatives, and I'll get into those a little bit later. The property is 422 rooms. You can feel free to flick the slide. The property is all inclusive, 422 rooms. We have 11 different categories of rooms, from your deluxe king resort views and ocean views to our suites. A big selling point for us, all our suites come with a butler service. There are approximately 37 suites on the property. Why is it great for families? We have about 290 rooms, which are all interconnecting. So mom and dad can still have their privacy with the comfort of knowing that the kids are just next door. So everybody isn't crammed into one room altogether. Flick the slide. I mentioned the butler service, which is one of our key selling points. And the thing to note is that our butler will basically do anything for you, anything from unpacking your bags, making all your reservations. If it is that you just need a little bit of time free, you need some champagne, some wine, they can get that for you. Insofar as it is legal, they're happy to do it for you. Next slide. For illustrative purposes, these are just some shots of our ocean view and resort view rooms, beautifully appointed rooms. Next slide. And this is our Queen Deluxe and Double Queen room, also available in resort and ocean views. Remember, we have 11 different categories of rooms. These are our leading categories. We have a number of suites on property. The creme de la creme of the offering is our presidential suite. Next slide. The property features about 3 major restaurants. There are 3 major restaurants across the property, a number of other eateries available as well, a number of pop-up locations. Anything from your fine dining option to more casual options. If you just want to laze around the pool, just grab a quick bite. That's available to you. Food is something that we're quite big on here at the property. And, you can look for healthy options. If you want something that's a little bit local, some of it is inspired in terms of the Indian cuisine offering. We have different types of offering available to every taste. Next slide. I should add as well, hopefully by the end of March, hopefully towards the end of March, we will be opening 2 new restaurants on property, a Japanese restaurant and an Indian restaurant. More information on that will be coming in due course. But the main reason we're here is to speak about the property and why it's great for families. I mentioned the fact that it is quite close to the airport, just 15 minutes or so away. 290 of our rooms are interconnecting. So again, mom and dad are able to have their own privacy with the comfort of knowing that the kids are next door. I did mention some of the disadvantages given the fact that we're located on the southeastern side of the island, which means that our beaches aren't quite swimmable. We do, however, offer a shuttle service over to the southern side of the island, an area known as Carlisle Bay, beautiful beach. And we offer a 3 times weekly shuttle service because we do recognize that nobody wants to come to Barbados and not have an opportunity to go into the beach. That doesn't mean that you can't access our beach facilities, however, because you are able to go down onto the beach. There are loungers available. The kids can, forage. They can, just walk the shorelines, etc. And those are some of the activities we have built in for the kids, and I'll speak to those in a little bit more detail. The property does have 6 pools across the property, one of which includes a kiddie pool, and some of our activities for the kids are centered around the pool area as well. We do have a kids club available to kids 4 to 12 years of age. That's usually open daily from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Normally break for lunch, and then it's open again from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. And there are quite a few activities that are available for the kids just to keep them entertained. So we've got, a number of video games, anything from board games as well. The thing to note about the property is that it's not a property where you're going to come and expect to find, water slides and things like that. A lot of our activities tend to be, driven around nature. We typically would take the kids down onto the beach where they can forage for shells, etc. They can make bracelets. There are lots of other educational opportunities available on the property with our in-house entertainment team who normally manage the activities for the kids. We also have some of the activities over by the pool as well, which are available for the younger ones. Something that we're looking to implement and we're quite excited about, I didn't include it on the slide, but we're looking to include a pirate themed treasure hunt as well, which we think will be a really big hit with the kids. And that more or less sits in line with the theme of Sam Lord's, given that Samuel Lord was known to be a pirate. And we thought it would be a great idea to include a pirate theme treasure hunt for the kids and to get to win a treasure at the end of it. We'll be happy to share those details with you once we've got everything finalized, but we do believe that it would be a great hit amongst the kids. Next slide. Perfect. Just, you can go one back, that's fine. Speaking of kids, we launched our Kids Stay Free campaign, just so you are aware. Valid for travel May 1st through to October 31st. You can access the booking via Air Canada, and it's available for kids, kids free between the ages of 4 and 12. So if you're planning that summer holiday, you can always give Wyndham Grand Barbados, some deep consideration. We're more than looking forward to welcoming you, having the kids, bring the kids on board. We do recognize as well that because we are set a little bit away from everything else on island, Barbados is quite small, so getting around isn't really that difficult. We do have our in-house concierge team who can make some bookings for you guys. Whether it is the submarine cruise, we do have Wayne on board. Whether it is you want to go trekking at the Harrison's Cave or taking whatever other activities, we're more than happy to make the necessary arrangements for you in that regard. Next slide, thank you. It gives me great pleasure as well to speak about our Grand Stay, which is a special booking program, this in conjunction with the Barbados Elite Club. And it's valid for bookings through to February 28th. And valid for travel the 1st of May through to the 31st of October 2026. That, of course, can be combinable with our Kids Stay Free offer in the summer. Next slide. So just to say, we're a family-focused property as well. We've got the Kids Club, the childcare facilities that are available as well. If mom and dad need a little bit of time for themselves in the evenings, we're more than happy to bring a nanny, to hire a nanny, bring a nanny in-house so they can just get a little bit of downtime. Or fine dining restaurant, which is the Castle View restaurant, is also available for kids between 6 and 8 p.m. as well. We do recognize that their requirements are a little bit different to ours. So your usual burgers, fries, pizza, all of that is available. Dario can certainly attest to that. Our activities are age appropriate as well for the kids. We just want to ensure that everybody's entertained, whether it's mom, dad, brother, sister, grandfather, grandmother, there's something for everybody at the property. The
Devon,
children's school. Yes, please.
yeah, I think that
Yeah.
you did. Did you tell them about the spa? Did you tell them about the spa services? I mean, it's great
Well,
to make sure that the
and I'm
kids,
glad you mentioned that, Dario.
yeah,
I'm
the
glad you
kids are
mentioned that
occupied.
because I was so focused on
Yeah,
the kids. But imagine,
don't
guys,
forget don't
imagine.
forget the parents. Don't forget the
Oh,
parents.
definitely, definitely. We talked about mom and dad having the downtime, but we've got a fantastic spa on the property, the Island Essence Spa. So while the kids are away, I don't know, learning about learning about Sam Lord, who was the pirate who used to own the property, and there is a castle on the property, mind you. There is a castle on the property. So whilst the kids are away, just being distracted, we'll call it distracted. Mom and
Yeah,
dad can make their way over to the spa. We can get a couples massage, a body scrub, facial, manicure, pedicure. Lunch is even available as well. That's mom and dad's time. So there's something for everybody at the property. And like I
yeah.
said, again, I just want to reiterate, even though our beach isn't swimmable, you're still able to go down onto the beach, dip into the pool, etc. Just walk along the shoreline and, just generally just enjoy Barbados.
Absolutely, Devon. And I think that that's great. Wow, how you put it, as it relates to having something for everyone. And that's not only related to the island, but when you think about the property, you're just
Absolutely.
looking for a chance to kind of just you check in, you kick back, and you know for a fact that your kids are, well taken care of. They are
Hmm.
occupied for the time that you're there, and you're not scratching your head trying to figure out what exactly they're going to be getting
Absolutely.
into, what exactly it is that they need to do. So I think that
Yeah.
you put it together very, very nicely for those who are looking for an all-inclusive experience that
And,
caters to
and
the
and can I
parents.
add one point as well,
Please
Dario?
go for it.
Yeah, and I just want to end by saying is, we love to see the families get off property just to get around and explore the island. Barbados isn't just about the hotels. I think it's the totality of the attractions and the other amenities that are available. So we want mom, dad, the kids, everybody to just get out and enjoy the island. At the end of the day, we want it to be a memorable experience, and we want you to keep coming back.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that very last word that you just said there, experience. That's it. Susan,
Yeah.
can you go to the very next slide for me? Yes, the underwater experience families can do together. And that is a perfect segue into Atlantis Submarine. Today we have Wayne Scott, who is joining us from beautiful Barbados. Devon was sure to let us know about that 28 degrees Celsius. Not jealous all about that one. Yeah. But right now I'll be handing over to Wayne, who will be telling you about the Atlantis submarine and more or less understanding why this can serve as a great wow factor in your trip to the destination and giving your children an opportunity to see Barbados in a completely different way. So, Wayne, over to you at this point.
Yeah, thank you, Dario, and welcome to all the agents. I'm just going to give you a bit of a familiarization about the Atlantis Submarines tour. You can go to the next slide. As they said, my name is Wayne Scott. I've been with the company since 1992. And I did start out as a crew member, but I did also work part-time in marketing, and eventually that's where I am now. So just give you a bit of background on who's presenting and the knowledge, etc. Next slide, please. Yeah, so submarine itself, it seats 48 passengers and 3 crew maximum. We do offer day and night tours. We actually are the only site or location, especially in the Caribbean, that offers the submarine tours at night. So it's a very ultra unique experience. So you'll take about from the dock to and from the submarine about 10 minutes on the ferry, and the submarine tour of itself, you're underwater for about 45 minutes or so. It is a natural environment, coral reef, and you'll be seeing all natural stuff and marine life. It's not a simulated situation, it's all very natural. Next, please.
Welcome to Atlantis Submarines. After a brief check-in, you take a short walk down the dock and board the Ocean Quest. During that 10-minute boat ride, you'll be shown our safety equipment that we carry on board the vessels. You will transfer to the submarine and enter via a hatch and 11 ladder-like steps. You'll be seated in air-conditioned comfort in the 48-seater submarine. You can enjoy this experience either by day, or you can try one of our night dives. There will be a knowledgeable co-pilot on hand to narrate and explain the various forms of marine life you are seeing in coral formations. So, experience a unique adventure in a real submarine with Atlantis.
Okay, so that was just a brief video to show you some of the tour offerings. The day and night, some of the content, the footage. You'd have seen how the tour flows a bit. You check in, there's a boat ride. Some people think that the actual tour starts getting on the submarine at the dock, but that would just give you a little bit of a sequence of the flow of events. Check in, 10-minute boat ride, transfer at sea, 40 minutes all narrated. You go to a reef, you see fish, coral, shipwreck, etc. So you also have options for private charters and dining down under. I mean, these are options for families. You may be celebrating a birthday or something, and you can always do something out of the norm and do something extremely unique to have the bragging rights that you went on a submarine underwater, but not only that, but you dined down at 120 feet, for instance. So some ultra unique possibilities here. These tours are very popular with children. You would know that when the kids start to see the fish and the coral, they really can't contain themselves sometimes. So I'll just go through some of the bits in the tours. As I did say, you check in boat ride, 45 minutes. You go on the reef, fish, corals. You visit a shipwreck as well. That's down at about 130 feet, but we do not go past 150. That's just for insurance purposes, although we are designed to operate at 600. That gives us a 4-to-1 safety margin. So day dives you'll find more suited for kids, I'll say, because there's more activity on the reef, and those tours are more frequently done every hour on the hour. The night tours, however, it's more of a transition dive. You start out with the tour with daylight, but it gets dark during the tour, and then we switch the lights on and illuminate the underwater world. Puts a different perspective of the underwater environment at night. It's very much more of a romantic setting, and couples tend to gravitate, but we do also get families attending both dive options of day and night. Next slide, please.
At Atlantis, we make sure you're safe and well taken care of. We've been providing submarine adventures since 1985 with over 500,000 dives and 17 million level of care.
Thank you. Okay, so that was a bit of a safety briefing there, video that we have. Obviously, safety is a very high priority in Atlantis. We always put safety first. So I'll just go through 6 particular points quickly because the video did cover a lot of it. The submarines are ballasted for positive buoyancy at the start of each tour, and that is so that if we were to turn the power off at depth, the submarine would float to the surface by itself. We actually use our vertical propellers to force the submarine in the water, and it actually comes up all by itself. That's a mandatory safety feature for tour submarines. There are various other ways you can surface it. Let's say vertical thrusters. We have a trim lead that you can drop. You can add air ballast, blow air into the tanks, or water ballast tanks. You can pump water out of tanks. So all these allow positive buoyancy. The hull of itself, the body, pressure hull is designed for 600 feet, as I mentioned earlier, and it's built according to the engineering standards. Now, as I said, we don't go past 600 feet. Sorry, it's designed for 600 feet, but we don't go past 150 for giving us a 4-to-1 safety margin, and that's also a pretty safe depth. That's pretty safe depth for divers to actually come down and surface the submarine. We also have that option where divers can come down and surface the submarine without any internal action required from the crew members on the inside. All of our major systems are duplicated. That's just for backup. I mean, if, for instance, one wasn't working, we would have to surface but we wouldn't start another tour. We have to have both before we start the tour. So always have that backup and duplicate system. There's a dedicated safety boat with the submarine. We check in at least every 15 minutes. We also, any changes in route, heading to the wreck, going deep, we always mention all the route we are taking and checking it at least every 15 minutes. Our submarines are also Class A1. So that's the American Bureau of Shipping classification of the Atlantis submarines, Class A1 submersibles, and they're approved and inspected annually by the same American Bureau of Shipping and the local authorities in the regions where we operate. We do preventative maintenance on all the vessels. That's just continuous stuff, and it's also monitored by the authorities that oversee us. Next slide, please. All right, so we are conveniently located on the outskirts of Bridgetown, right next to the cruise terminal. It's called a shallow draft, which is kind of a shallower extension of the Deepwater Harbor. I know cricket is not that big in Canada as yet, but we're right next to the Kensington Oval, and that's our major cricket ground. So very conveniently located, very central. So it's a pretty good activity for the family and the kids. It is very informative, it's fun, educational. If you have any groups, like I was saying, sports and stuff, you can use it for sports groups. Sometimes you get schools or universities or colleges traveling. It's a good group fun activity. And at our location where we are, we also have a little cafe. You can also grab a bite before or after the tour. But it basically feels as if you're in your own aquarium. So just check it out and come join and see us at Atlantis Submarines.
So Wayne, I know this is not necessarily related to families, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, but has someone gotten married on the submarine before? Have you guys had a wedding on the submarine before?
Yes, we actually had a few of them.
Wow.
But recently, one of our staff members got married just a few weeks ago on board. So we call when we do these weddings on the submarine, the campaign is called "How Deep Is Your Love?" So that's how we put on the words and do the creative side for the marketing. But yes, it's a very unique venue to do anything, to say you've done something 130, 120, 100 plus feet under the water, to dine, to get married, to do any activity. it's just such a unique and special place to be. Magical.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for that, Wayne. So moving on to the next slide, we just want to let you guys know that we will see you soon. And the question right now is, why does Atlantis work for families? Wayne would have touched on this, but it's an ocean adventure without needing everyone to snorkel or swim. It's great for mixed comfort levels as it relates to kids, as it relates to parents, and as it relates to non-swimmers. You would have just seen the very extensive safety protocols that Atlantis go through to ensure that you are always protected and making sure that your experience overall is one that is truly memorable and one that will stay with your family forever. And overall, like if you're planning out an entire week, I feel as though this is something that can easily slot into the middle of the week as like a midweek highlight, more or less. And when we move on from Atlantis Submarine, there are a number of other activities you can possibly utilize. I consider these to be the kid-friendly options that you would have within the destination. And you can always feel free to mix and match these when it comes to suggesting an itinerary to your clients. I know some people prefer to freestyle, but I've noticed that clients sometimes like to have an idea of what their days would look like once they are within the destination. So Barbados Wildlife Reserve is always a great option. There's the Graham Hall Nature Sanctuary that's available for kids as well. There's a water park near Rascal, so it could be a case that you're leaving Atlantis Submarine and heading over to Rascal Water Park if you wanted to do that. Bushy Park is another great option if you have children who are into a little bit of speed. They have go-karts available. St. Nicholas Abbey gives you an option now for a little bit of heritage. You can get a train ride and it tell you about this Jacobean mansion, one of three in the Western Hemisphere, and you can never go wrong with a catamaran. Of course, this gives you an option to, swim with the turtles and see the fish from a completely different angle if you're not on the Atlantis Submarine. And I feel as though surfing is always a really nice one as well, and something that's a little bit different where a vacation is concerned. Imagine going on vacation and coming back being able to surf. Barry Surf School is one of the many options you can find within the destination. I think we always say like there's something for everyone once we are in Barbados. So this is something that's great for your older kids, something that's great for teens as well. And then you also have Chukka Barbados, where you can have the Harrison's Cave tram tour, which many of you may already know about. But they recently installed like a monkey zip lining, and they also have an adventure park aspect as well. So like a little obstacle course. So these are now giving you other options to kind of slot in when it comes to whether you're relaxing at the property that you might be staying at, and if you're looking to have a day on the road. So moving on from there now, the question is like, what exactly does the 7-night rhythm look like? So what does a week in Barbados look like? So I've put together an idea of what you could kind of like use to build out your itinerary for your guests. I know you guys are the experts, but this is a good way that you can also go about it. You can always make sure you have at least 2 rest days, and this could be a day for the beach, a day for the pool, just lounging, and you can have like a very light outing on this day. Then you have an activity heavy day. Maybe that's the day that you're going to the water park. Maybe you're going to do the go-karts. Maybe you're doing some zip lining. And then you have one signature wow experience. In this instance, Atlantis Submarine. If you're looking for a heritage day, that could be the trip up to St. Nicholas Abbey, and you can go for the train ride. And always leaving one flexible choice day, just in case things did not go as planned on one of the other days, you then have another day available to you that you can now slot in one of those other activities that we would have talked about before. So what exactly would an itinerary look like? This is what a draft itinerary would look like. And as you know, if you're coming out of Canada, you're usually landing around the afternoon time. So you can always check in, quick beach pool time. You're going to have dinner on property for the first night. You're not trying to do too much. Day 2, you can see yourself having some breakfast at the hotel, and then you go on an island tour. But what we're doing with this island tour, we're making sure that we're including some stops at some of those places that we would have mentioned. Barbados Wildlife Reserve, St. Nicholas Abbey for the train ride. These two make sense because they're also in the same part of the island. So now we have a situation where, you have like a nice flow as well as you're making stops along the island as well. And if you're looking for a nice dinner on that particular night, you can head over to a place like Champers. You can never go wrong. Great for a family dinner. Day 3, we're getting off of the property from early out. We're heading over to Bliss Cafe for breakfast. This is always a hit with families on the island. Head over to Graham Hall Nature Sanctuary. You're feeling for lunch, Just Grilling is always a very easy option. They have like a number of platters available, whether you're looking for chicken, whether you're looking for fish, whether you're looking for some ribs. I always get the ribs. And then following that, you can always find yourself heading down to Rascal's Water Park. You're looking for a dinner that's a little bit more casual. I would recommend Mimosa. They have some fantastic pizzas available. Once again, very easy for the kids to choose something to eat on the menu. Heading into day 4, once again, we're heading off property to get some breakfast. We're going to the egg shop. Then we're heading to our wow factor because right now we are in the middle of the week. Atlantis Submarine for our wow factor. Lunch, Savvy on the Bay, Savvy on the Beach. That's a great spot. There are a number of food trucks that are available there. So you have options once again for the kids, and they have beach chairs available. So they have loungers. So that can make like a really nice follow up from leaving Atlantis if you wanted to do that. Head back to the hotel, not chill for a bit, kids club if that's available, and then you're having dinner at Harbor Lights. This is a really, really nice experience for families. It's a beach extravaganza. So you got stilt walkers coming out, you got green monkeys coming out, you got the Mother Sallies coming out, and it's one price that you're paying. It includes drinks for the evening. It includes the meal that you're going to be having for the night. It includes transportation as well. So I think that this will be like a great climax to day 4 after going to the Atlantis submarine. Day 5, we're heading to Bushy Park now to do some go-karting. Lunch, keeping it super chill. Shafak, those of you who've been to Barbados, you already know Shafet is a place to go. If you're looking to elevate your Shafet experience just a little, I would then recommend Barbecue Barn, still attached to the Shafet brand, and you can have yourself some nice platters there available to, leave Barbecue Barn, head back to your property, and we're lounging again. Pool, beach, kids club, that's it. You're looking for something a little bit different once again, we're giving you a toes in the sand experience at Lakaban. That's always a great way for you to enjoy dinner in a completely different way, watching a nice sunset on the west coast of the island. And then we got day 6. Day 6 is pretty much done because we're going on a catamaran, man. So that's basically taking your entire day up. You sail from early, you get a chance to stop, snorkel if you want to do some of that. And that's a pretty tiring day. So I would then recommend having dinner on property following that because catamaran day can really, really take you out. Day 7, coming down to the end of your vacation, people feeling sad, but we still got some energy. You can find yourself taking in a surf lesson, or you can be heading to Harrison's Cave to do some zip lining. So you see what we're doing here. We're still making sure that you're getting in a little bit of the culture. We're making sure that you're getting some food. You're getting to see a bit of the island as well. But we're also still making sure that there's a little bit of adventure dropping in on different days. We're not trying to do too much all at once. Keep in mind the island is very small. It is very accessible. So it's easy to plan things on multiple days. You leave Harrison's Gate for your zip lining. You can go lunch at Worthing Square. Once again, lots of options. The kids are really big on bubble tea. Yeah, bubble tea seems to be really taking off, man. When I was home last time, I had to take some kids for bubble tea in Worthing Square. So yeah, you can head there, and they're great food options as well. You can leave Worthing Square, hop on the bus into Bridgetown to do your souvenir shopping, and this is your last night dinner. You can do that on property or and following having dinner on property, treat the kids to some dessert. Feel free to head over to Churn Homemade Ice Cream. That's Bajan made ice cream, and they always have some fantastic flavors, signature flavors on hand, and they're always switching them out. But all of the flavors usually represent things that are very Barbadiana. And then day 8, you can have your breakfast. One last hurrah at Blush Cafe. That's a great option. And then in the afternoon time, you're getting ready to head back to the airport. So that just gives you like a really nice idea of what, 7 or 8 days could look like on the destination. And this is the incentive that we currently have coming up. So always make sure that stay tuned to everything Barbados Elite Club related. This one is called Pick a Perk, and this is for people who are making any bookings from February 8th. When you log a new booking between February 8th and March 31st, 2026, this is only valid on new bookings. You can choose either the Harrison's Cave Eco Adventure Park, You have the Mount Gay Rum Tour experience available to your clients. There's also the Walker's Reserve Tour. So this is something to always take note of. This is what the upcoming incentive is going to be. If you need more information on that, feel free to head to the next slide, Susan. Feel free to reach out to one of our team members. We have Ukweli, who covers Montreal. We have Brita, we have Lisa, you have myself. We're all available. It's as simple as picking up the phone, just giving us a call or shooting us a quick email. And I think it's just a case of just us having a conversation, figuring out what it is that you would like, and then we're just connecting you to the right persons as well. All right. Moving on from there, I guess we can open up the floor to any questions that we might have.
Well, that was amazing. And I can just also tell you, I'm going to put your slide back up with your team. There's a couple of questions. I'm going to just go to Facebook first, if that's okay. There's
That's
some for
fine.
Devon there, and there's some on Zoom here for Wayne. So I think Devon's here.
Yeah, he's still here. He's still
Yep.
around.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, Devon, are there any water slides or splash pads?
No, no water slides at the property.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you offer Devon halal options in the food?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, great. I'm going to go back. So Willie's asking me to go back to the Pick Your Perk promotion. So I just want to let everyone know that the Pick Your Perk promotion is also on Dario's page on Spoiled Agent. You just go down to spoiledagent.com, click on tourist boards, and click on Barbados. And we've added this on just recently, so it's there for you. I've also put the link into the chat along with the gentlemen and all their contact information. And as much as Dario's here for the whole team, there is a whole team across Canada that's here to help you, of course. So I know Dario's our guy here today, but the whole team is really, really great at responding. Amazing help. We love working with them as Spoiled Agent. So make sure you contact your right representation for your questions for sure. Okay, let's see here. A couple more questions. We're going to go now over to Zoom. Wayne, this is for you. So where, and I know you showed a great map, and I know the area from, because I went on Rihanna Way, so I know where it is. It's really near there. But can you maybe just describe a little bit where the location of the tour starts?
Yes, as I was saying, it was on the outskirts of Bridgetown. It's just an extension of the Deepwater Harbor. It's a shallower area called a shallow draft. And it's right next to Kensington Oval. So it's very central and a lot of landmarks around that can help you to pick up where it is. So yeah.
Okay, great. And Angela's asking on Zoom, Wayne, do you have an idea of the cost of the submarine?
Right. So we tend to the day dive is 120 US and the night dive is 130 US, with kids being 60 US. So that's pretty much how our prices are set up. And we also would do specials and so on during certain times of the year and specials for families. So always something to keep the families engaged.
Okay, great. And Sheila's asking Wayne, how far out can you book the Atlantis submarine? She tried in December, but she wasn't available to book it yet.
For when? December?
December of this year?
Usually we have it for quite, I would say about 8 months or so, but I'll double check and make sure that we are very up to, maximum amount. But we usually about 8 months. We're trying to increase it a bit, but to get it right up to at least a year. Yeah.
Great. And it's great because all of our Canadian spoiled agents that are on today, they want to start booking. So both the Wyndham and of course the submarine. So this one's for Devon. Devon, does the
Correct.
Wyndham Resort offer day passes for cruise port clients?
So I was literally just typing that into the chat. So
Oh.
it's US $150 in the summer, and that rises to 300 US in the winter.
Okay. And this is I get it, Joe. Joe has a question for Wayne. Sometimes people sign up for things and when they get to it, maybe a little anxiety takes on. So if someone gets there and they have to chicken out, how does that work?
Well, yeah, we do refund, especially based on, we're not going to force someone to do something they're not comfortable doing. So we do have a very kind of flexible cancellation policy. Somebody may just not be, it may not be their thing, or it may not feel the seaworthy that day, for whatever reason. So we do have a flexible cancellation policy from that regard.
That's great. Amazing to hear. And I just want to say, Dario, that amazing itinerary that you shared, like I love it. It's not, as much as like it's great for families, it's great for big kids too. I mean, for everybody. So and I can tell you, I did some of these things as well when I was in Barbados. So really great choices. And I have to tell you, Chefette, we went to Chefette because we were out walking around. We wanted something really quick. It was fantastic. And we even got some great ice cream there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, it works great for children. They might not feel like sitting down, choosing from a menu, an extensive menu, very stuffy, something a little bit more casual, easy, and you know that you're going to get like a quality Bayesian meal, like Chefette is right there. And I know someone was asking about the itinerary. You let me know what you prefer, Susan. It could be a case that I send it to you and you're sending it out to them, or they can just shoot me an email. And once you shoot me an email, I have no problem sending it over to you. You just let me know what you think works best.
Okay, fantastic. So a couple of people have asked for your sample itinerary. So do you want me do we usually do a follow-up email, right, with
Right.
all of
I
our
can
spoiled
send it to
agents that
you.
came on live.
Yeah.
So if you want to send me maybe a PDF of that or whatever included, I can include it for them.
Beautiful.
That'd be
Beautiful.
great because it's been
Okay.
amazing for sure. And
Lovely.
Jennifer's asking for Dario, the events calendar for the elite. Jennifer got the certification is for 2025. So is there one for 2026 coming up?
We're working on it. We just want to make sure that once we put that calendar out there, majority of what is on the calendar is actually happening. So we're in the final stages of solidifying those events and making sure that they are in fact a goal regarding dates, times, etc. So it's coming. It's coming, Jen. I'm coming to see you in PEI as well.
Oh, amazing. Okay, Devon, this one's for you. So for day passes or site inspections, do they just reach out to you or how will that work?
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. They can reach out to me directly. That's fine.
Okay, great. And like I said, I've shared the gentleman's contact information, but here I'll also mention it as well. Okay, so Janine, hi Janine. She's one of our friends in Nova Scotia. Janine is planning on booking in May or November, Food and Rum Fest for November for myself and several other people coming with me. So is May more affordable, but it's still active in May? So is there lots to do in May for Janine? She's an active gal.
Barbados is an all year round destination, regardless of what day, what time, what month, what year you choose to visit. There will always be something for you to do. So once it's a case that you decide on the dates that you want to head down, Jeannie, feel free to pick up the phone, give me a call. I know you got my number for sure. Yeah, just give me a call, and once we know those dates that are going on, those dates, we can plan out something around everything that is happening. That's no issue at all, and I think that that's what it really is. When it comes to Barbados, your experience is very customizable. It's not a case that when you go to Barbados, every single person, yes, there are certain staples that you will find people doing, but it's not a case that every single vacation on the island is going to look exactly the same way.
All right. Janine, she loves Barbados and we love you. Amazing. Okay, and Jennifer said Daryl D from Barbados. She's going to keep her eyes open for that email. So amazing. Wayne, this is for you. Wayne, as you've worked for the Atlantis for quite some time now, this is from Kim on Zoom. What changes have you noticed in the reef of any bleaching or anything like that?
I would say that there has been bleaching when we had the extreme temperature changes, but since the temperatures have come back to a bit more normal, I've found it has somewhat reversed. It is not completely um improved, like completely back to where it was, but for the most part, a lot of that bleaching has I don't know if the algae has taken over again and then started to bring back life around it, but I don't know. It's not. We used to see a lot of white plates on the reef for a lot, very prevalent. But since the temperature, once it's not that extreme temperature episodes like what we had a few years ago, then I found it came back quite well and recovered reasonably, to be honest.
Okay, great. Just a few comments I want to read out. Kathy from Zoom said, "This is an amazing presentation, helped me a lot." Charlene from Zoom said, "Thank you so much for all this information. Hoping to go to Barbados this year before October. Will there be a fam at all? Love Barbados. Have clients going in a few days. Thank you, Dario, Wayne, and Devon and Susan." And Dario, you guys are really, I just saw even in the trade magazine, you guys have really catered a lot to the agents, of course, in Canada for fam trips. And I know you've had a great presence there this year, last year even. So is there anything on the horizon?
I will say just stay tuned to the Barbados Elite Club space. If you're not a member of Barbados Elite Club, please join so you can get all the necessary updates regarding any FAMs that might be upcoming. That's all I can say.
Okay, and that's perfect. I mean, in order to be, selected, you want to make sure that
That is
they are, I'm
correct.
going to put the link in, a specialist. Like, how
That is
great is
correct.
that?
That is
I hired
correct.
it a
Super,
couple
super
times.
easy.
Yeah, super easy. All right. Really easy. Okay, let's see here. Okay, for Devon, I'm always asking, can I have the contact for the wedding manager to request further information?
Yes, you can. Can you reach out to me directly and I'll introduce you to Maria?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I think it should be maria.clark@wyndhamgrandbarbados.com. But just to be safe, you can reach out to me and I'll make the introduction.
Okay, again, I'm just going to share the
Mm-hmm.
gentleman's information in the chat so
Mhm.
everyone has it. But again, we will make sure that it's in the follow-up because they want to get out and reach out with questions and bookings and potentials, of course, which is great. So it's
Okay.
shared on Zoom, it's shared on Facebook, it's shared everywhere.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, you guys have done a really, really great job of showcasing all of your, amazing properties and experiences. We're so happy to have you all. And Dario, we all know that Mr. D from Barbados. Everyone knows and loves Dario as well. We love that you all have set aside your time, gentlemen, for us today. All of our spoiled agents across Canada, we're so happy to have you. And don't forget, if someone gets an email from Dario or from me, then you know you're going to be winning the $50 gift card, right, Dario?
That's right. That's what it is.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen, seeing some of you again, Devon and Dario, and
Definitely.
meeting you,
Thank you very
Wayne.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
very
having
much.
us.